Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well. So, this video is going to be a little different. I'm trying out something new. This is my Louis Vuitton desk agenda in the Damier Ebene. And at the beginning of every year, I go through and I set up a goals page. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of do a plan with me. I'm going to show you how I set up my goal page. This is my goal page for 2023. It's kind of like this big collage. Sorry about that. I hit the holder, what's holding my camera here, but I do a big collage with just like leftover stickers I had from my weekly Planner Spot subscription. I have a subscription I do with her shop every month. And so I get stickers that are themed for each month, and anything I don't use, I just save it for this type of thing. So I'm going to speed up the video and just kind of do a voiceover for you as I'm decorating it and just kind of talk about my goals and what's going to inspire me for 2024 with not only this agenda, but just my life. And I thought that would be fun. The video I plan to release after this is going to focus more on how I do my Bible study in this agenda and just in general. I feel like I just really have it on my heart, and you guys have made such great comments about how you want to see how I do this. So here we go. So here I'm speeding it up because I literally did this real time, so I wasn't sure what my setup was going to be like. I kind of just pull out all my stickers and what I plan to use, and I just let myself get inspired by the colors or the prints. And so what I do every year is I take one of these Infinite Lotus grid pages. I've also used the freebie, the printout grid page from other shops. And I start off with that and I create a title for it. So I make like this header and it'll say goals, or it'll have, 2023, 2024. I've been doing this now for 4 years. And I've kept all of my goals that I've done for every year. And as I go through the year in 2024 and I accomplish some of these things, I highlight them. And by the time I get to the end of the year, anything that's still left unhighlighted, I usually carry over. But these are realistic goals. There's a lot of things that are out that you can read about goal setting. There's a really great book I've read called Iconic Habits. A lot of YouTubers, you'll see it featured on their channel, but it's just a way to get things done and establish yourself so that you can have practical real life goals and actually achieve them. So I have different categories that I do for my goals every year. I'll do personal goal, I'll do a goals that relate around my family, my home, fashion, my channel, my job, and I put them all on this page so I can reference them. And every morning when I go into my desk agenda and I actually take the time to pray and study scripture, it's just a nice little reminder of how all of these things are connected. And it gives me an opportunity to pray about those goals that maybe are being challenging for me or they're not coming to pass. And it just helps keep me inspired. So these stickers that I'm using here are from the Planner Spot shop, and I'll link her shop down below. Her stickers have been my favorite for like the last 5 years. She was one of the first planner shops that I came across when I started collecting my Louis Vuitton agendas, and her artwork is original. She does all of this on her own with her husband. They run their business from home, I believe, is what she's shared on some of her videos. And she just comes across as such a sweet, humble woman. Um, and I love contributing to her small business, but I really do appreciate a lot of her products. These little tabs that I'm placing on here are from cloth and paper, but the little headers, the little titles that are on them are from the Planner Spot shop. And when I establish my goals, these are the three main things I try to focus on are goals that have to do with my home, my family, and my health. Just to remind me, like those should be priority. And so, setting goals and doing all of that, I think, is a wonderful way to help keep us motivated on track. And when you write things down, um, it can start to become a little overwhelming, kind of like this giant to do list. And you could feel like you would just have to get everything on that list done. And realistically, I try to tell myself, you get done what you can. But the most important things should really be the focus on your home, your family, and your health. You cannot put a price on those things. And so, um, one of the struggles I did have this year when I was putting this goal page together, because usually I have this done like in October, November, I usually get really excited to put my goals together. And this year I was kind of struggling to zone in or focus in on what I wanted to put on here. I found myself getting really not bummed out, but like, oh, these things are just going to repeat themselves from last year. Um, but I told myself, no, like if you can have this motivation and this routine, and you know what goals work for you, what things you're going to accomplish, even if they're the same as the prior year, put them on there. Like you don't have to create goals that are not practical or that you're going to have a really hard time achieving. Um, I think that uh, we can sometimes set these very high goals for ourselves, and then we can get really discouraged very quickly when we see that we're not accomplishing them. So what I'm going to do at the end of this video is literally go through and show you what I plan to write down on this goal sheet, and you'll see how practical a lot of these things are. If you're a mother, you'll know that a lot of the goals that I have on here are really essential and important to my health, my kids' health, and just running a, a routine, um, having structure to your home, and setting a good example for my kids. I have three small children. They are 2, 4, and 6, and I have two girls and a boy. And I see them as like my little disciples. Am responsible, and God has trusted me to teach them what I know. And they watch you all the time. They're like little sponges. And so I hope that if they see me doing things like this and doing my morning Bible studies, just taking the time to organize myself and set goals, that they too will do those things as they grow. I've had a little planner and a little notebook in my hands since I can remember, since first grade. I remember having my first little planner was a Little Mermaid planner. And I don't quite remember what I put in there, but I just remember after having that and having a place to just kind of doodle and draw, it just inspired me to want to have a notebook like that every year. And I'm so grateful and so fortunate that I was able to purchase my Louis Vuitton planners and have a very nice and elegant setup, um, and just a really pretty place that I can put these notes and these goals and these ideas that I have every year. I know these planners are expensive, but you know what? When you sit down and you start adding up how much you spend on a lot of these trips to Target, when you see cute little notebooks or things to organize yourself, those things add up. And so here I am. This is the following day. I had to stop the video because my kids were getting a little rowdy and they needed my attention. But I've finished decorating the page here. You can see all of the icon stickers and my titles for each section. So I'm going to go through and just kind of quickly show you what my whole vision is with this. And each icon just kind of triggers a goal for me so that I could remember what to go back and put on there. So obviously these are for 2024 goals, and I do like setting up a word of the year. This year it is going to be discipline. And also I'm going to have a second word, which is going to be faith. And again, my main priorities, if at all, are to focus on my home, my family, and my health. Some projects I'm going to have are to organize my kitchen, start a budget to save up for a kitchen renovation, hopefully in the next year or two, and to really deep clean and organize a lot of my cupboards and just spaces that I store things at home. I have these cute little icons here for coffee and sleep. I want to continue my morning routine, Bible study. I also want to continue a date night with my husband, whether it be once or twice a month. I want to continue with planning my meals and grocery lists ahead of time. And I have a couple books that I want to finish reading this year, as well as read through my Bible and focus more on prayer. And I decorated this cute little section here for fashion. And then to the left, I put a to do. So every year, I pre plan maintenance for our cars. I pre schedule dental appointments, physicals, and eye exams. So I put those here to remind me to do that when the time comes. And again, they're practical, but they are important. So I do stick them on my goal sheet because when those are all done, it feels nice to cross them out. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to put here yet, but I do know I need some goals with my wardrobe and just how I'm organizing my closet right now and some of these pieces. I want to set up and organize my perfumes on my dresser. And on the back side, I have more like family centered things at the top here. So, travel, some ideas that I want to do are to save up for some road trips and some vacations here. I have some ideas on what we can do on days off and ideas I had for my kids' birthdays and their gifts when that time comes. I am homeschooling my kindergartner, and I will be homeschooling a first grader and a kindergartner towards the end of the year. So I wanted to finish filling out my yearly calendar, purchase a clock, a decorative clock, and I have some ideas for like raffles and gifts that I can use within our home classroom and some ideas for some field trips I wanted to do with them. So I was going to list those there. And I do work away from home. And so I had some education and work goals I wanted to put here. Some ideas I have for social media and some ideas I have for nail art for the upcoming videos that I wanted to make note of here. And then I also have a section for budget goals. So those are a little more personal, but obviously things that I want to save up for myself, for my family, and for home renovation or projects that we're doing here are really important. So simple but practical, right? And it looks pretty. I think a lot of us planner girls are like low-key crafters, so it just let me express myself in a creative way. So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.